Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at the wonderful Sellersville Theater. You can see it there beautifully behind me, lit up, not quite like a Christmas tree, just kind of nice. Hello, my name is Dan. Thank you for joining me here on Soundbooth Sessions. This is our weekly live stream show where, of course, we feature a concert and a conversation with a artist who we love, one of our favorites. And I am so happy to have The Naked Sun with us this evening. They're friends with Love Said the Commander, a band that we had just a couple weeks ago. Both bands with literary reference names. We'll probably talk about that later. But this should be a lovely evening of music and chatting with these guys. We've had a great sound check so far. Things are going great so far, right? So that's good. Thank you for joining me here. I want to say hello to any members who are in the crowd. Of course, Sellersville Theater members, you are very special to us, and we appreciate all the support you have shown us year in and year out. Of course, this year being what it was, we couldn't have done any of this without you. So we love you and thank you. And if anyone would like to become a Sellersville Theater member, we'd love to have you on Team Sellersville. You get to help us keep the lights on and the music playing and the internet bill paid so we can do these wonderful live streams for you. And of course, in typical years, we have lots of events throughout the year that are specifically for our members, or where our members get a little sneak peek or a little discounts, of course, year-round. And we have our yearly members party. That's a big perk. A lot of people love that. It's typically it's a full day of music and food and drink, and it's the best. So anyway, think about becoming a Sellersville Theater member. It's a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you. Let's see. Tonight, before we get started, we want to give a big shout-out to Jeremy Hoban, who will be manning the cameras for us this evening. He's our camera operator. Jeremy on the close-ups this evening, and the zoom-ins, and the pans, and the tilts, and the rack focuses. So, Jeremy, and big thank you to Alyson in the comments section. Hello, she'll be moderating the comments, keeping it clean down there, keeping you informed. And let's see, she'll be putting up links to some of the stuff that we're talking about, and clarifying things, answering questions. Let's see. What else? Oh, Melanie Loader's in the crowd. Hi, Melanie. Thanks. You're the best. Jane Wells, you should become a member. You would love it. Yes, you, comment moderator. I'm talking to you. So, folks, of course, this evening's you got into this show without paying a ticket price, but that does not mean that the show is coming to you for free. This evening's performance is pay as you please. If you check out the comment section and the event description, you will see a link that is for a link tree. So when you click that link, it will come up in your browser with all the different ways that you can pay for this evening's show. There are many ways to pay, and every way is A-OK. There we go. Strike that from the record. So here, I'm going to actually try something here. I should be able to post it up on your screen right now. It might have just popped up on your screen, testing one of the new features of Facebook Live. Some of you may have just gotten something that popped up on your screen with the link that you can click on. You can click on that link anytime throughout the show, and it will not navigate you away from the concert. So you can head on over to support The Naked Sun on their Venmo or their PayPal. You can support the Sellersville Theater on their Venmo or their PayPal. It's all going into the same pot, and we're gonna pay out the Naked Sun and the Sellersville Theater from your contributions. So thank you very much for helping keep these shows happening. All right, that's enough business. Ladies and gentlemen, please pick the emoji that best represents how you feel at this particular moment, and get ready to click feverishly to give a warm Soundbooth Sessions welcome to The Naked Sun.
rings. Will the end? Will the end? Waving goodbye, will now she sang. She smells the burning of the leaves. Where the trees, where the trees. Waving goodbye, will now she sang. We'll just let them be. Will some rest, will some rest, some peace. Yeah, well, we'll see you again. Or maybe not. All that you get is dirt and sand. Return, my friend, to that well again. Cry all you can, and then you're gone. And then you're gone. And then you're gone. Gone, 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 gone.
Oh, it sounds good, guys.
Thank you.
Already a lot of love for the pedal steel.
All right.
Drew, you're great too.
For the star sky painted black, millions of years to light our path. But now a star for every grain of sand. And death's still a hungry ghost. Well, he's haunting me and you on his blue, green blue. Heavy hearts and heavy minds floating through this river of time. But open wide and let me hear your voice. Right then someone else's sun was burning, and I could not see you. Oh, now I'm blue, green blue. Well, there's a sky up above and a woman in love with you. How much longer till you reach some kind of truth? sky up above and a woman in love with you. Around blue, green, blue. We go to. To stop my heart, yeah. We're spinning space, we're stretching this place. Well, the sky, it's a choir, and every star's a voice. Blue, green, blue. Well, the sky, it's a choir, and every star's a voice. Where the sky's a quiet, every star's a voice. The sky's a quiet, every star's a voice. Blue, green, blue. All right. How's everyone out there doing?
They're doing great. They're doing great. Drew is how they're doing. They're loving it.
All right.
I see claps. I see hearts.
Oh, good.
We've decided that this is the perfect vibe for this Saturday evening.
That's wonderful. Hey, I like that. Yes. Can I tell you a secret? Can I tell you a lie? Can I tell you what's really wrong in my life? Half the part's knowing, the hard part's growing. Well, I drove down to Florida, put it all to rest, but every palm tree was like a ghost from my past. You know how many palm trees there are in Florida? It's a lot of ghosts. Surprised myself with how much I care. How angry I was, but also how scared. Sat under a willow, listened to the bird. Well, his branches like a dead man's finger, reflecting back and begging me love. Well, I'm sorry I came here, I'm sorry I care, I'm sorry for everything that I carried here, but I can't be sorry for you, you know that too. Crowflower nettle, daisy long purple, so much sadness, so much wrong in this world, but there's so much beauty, there's so much right too. Now I'm watching the wind like watching your last breath. It comes and it goes, it comes back again. Can you feel that breeze on the back of your neck? Well, it's simple, I know. I just haven't accepted it yet. Well, simple, yeah, no, I just haven't accepted it yet.
Oh my goodness, guys. What lovely songs you have played for us thus far this evening. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show, The Naked Sun. So who do we have up there? We have Drew on. Introduce yourself.
I'm Drew. I'm playing guitar and harmonica, and I'm singing.
Hello, Drew.
And this is Tim.
Hello, Tim.
Hello.
Great work up there so far, you guys.
Thank you.
The crowd are going wild. John Seaton loves the steel guitar. We're just going to be getting a lot of love for the pedal steel. I did mention to you that this is the first pedal steel that we've had thus far on Soundbooth Sessions, so you're breaking everyone in. So welcome to the show, guys. Let me tell everybody that the three songs that you just played, let's see, first one came off of your EP, Pickled Heart.
That's right.
Very cool graphic there for the Naked Heart, the Pickled Heart. And then the most recent EP was the last two songs came off of that, and that's called Sun Rising. And these are great musical journeys to go on. I was just thinking in that last song that what a great message in that song, especially on mental health day.
Yeah.
About acceptance and about
For sure.
yeah. So tell me about this most recent release of yours, Sun Rising. It came out fairly in June?
June 5th, I believe. Yeah.
And how long have you been working on it? And what does it mean to you?
So, happened fairly quickly, actually. We had released Avec la Vérité back in November 2019.
And that's your penultimate release.
That's the one, about a 5-song EP. That's the one in French with the French title. So we had a couple of these songs lying around that I had written, Sun Rising, and I had written Dead Man's Fingers. Probably, well, we went on a trip. We went on a little tour up in Boston and then New York City, and I came home and wrote Dead Man's Fingers.
Which was the last song that you just played,
and that
right?
was the song that we had just played, and that song was written in May.
Okay.
Well, I should say May 2019.
Okay, all right.
And that song references my wife's father passing away. It's really told from her perspective. And just, saying goodbye to someone, and there's no real one way to do that. And she was struggling with which way she wanted to go with it. And so, the idea of the song really is to just to pick your way and to figure it out. I mean, there's really no real way to say goodbye to someone you love. And so it tells that story. But yeah, so the EP itself was recorded in February. This year, 2020.
This year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right before we all got locked down and everything like that. So
Sure.
we had recorded Dead Man's Fingers. That was being played around with being put on our Avec la Verite EP, but we saved it because it wasn't quite ready, and we already had the songs I felt like we needed for that EP.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Dead Man's, and then we recorded Blue, Green, Blue, and Sunrising at Gradwell Studios in New Jersey, and once we got locked down, I started to do a lot of home recording. So the last song on that record is called "The Closer That I Get to You."
That's where it takes the turn towards hip hop.
Oh, absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
a sharp left turn.
Yep, that is a knuckleball for sure.
Yeah.
So Closer. I mean, it's me, me in my basement playing with different sounds and things like that. And then my buddy Harry Zelnick Jr., who's a brand new daddy again.
Oh, congratulations.
Harry and Alistair, the new baby boy. Harry remixed it for me, and I included both versions on the EP.
Okay.
And, we were sitting around not really doing anything, so I was like, this is ready. Let's release it into the world. But unfortunately, we picked a pretty unfortunate date. We picked June 5th, and that's when the George Floyd protests started happening and everything. So it really just kind of washed over everything.
Right.
It wasn't really the time to promote your music.
Sure. There were more important things.
There were definitely more pressing matters than that. Yeah. So really, I mean, in some respect, this is our EP release show for that.
Wow. Well, we're honored to have it here. And so far we've heard two out of 5 of the songs on it, and I believe we're going to hear a number of the rest.
Yeah, so we'll get to Sunrising in the next group of songs. Yep.
That's great. So now you mentioned your home studio. Is that, I imagine, playing a bigger role in your life these days?
Yeah.
Are you working on material now?
Yeah. So we've always done a lot of recording and things like that, DIY style.
Sure.
I mean, Pickled Hearts is a completely DIY, recorded to tape.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And so, we've picked up a lot of gear and sold a lot of gear through the years.
Yeah.
So right now Tim and I both have studios set up in our basement, and we're taking some of the stems that we've recorded in real studios and kind of working on those, ironing those out, overdubbing, doing some vocals, things like that.
Has your process, or how has your process changed these days? Like where maybe you aren't getting together as much. Like how is it that you're making these recordings in the current climate?
So I will, I'll come up with a beat on my little Korg Volca, I think it's called. Anyway, it's an analog synthesizer.
Yeah.
Sequencer. Yeah. And so I'll start with a beat, and then I'll just start layering over that.
Right.
And I'll come up with an idea, and I'll send that over. I'll put it in the drive and say, "Hey Tim, check this out," or "Hey Harry, check this out." And the guys will open it up, and they'll send it back to me, and that's kind of how we've been writing a couple of our songs.
So is it typically music first? You start with a beat first?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then what how do you make the connection from music to words?
I banged my head against the wall for about 3 months.
Gets a pad of paper.
Yeah. I mean, I have things written down. I always have ideas to pull from. Things are always kind of cycling through my brain.
Okay.
But I honestly couldn't tell you how it happens. It just eventually, it's crunch time, and I need words, and there's enough of an idea there. I don't write, I rewrite, and I feel like that's kind of my process right now, is just getting the ideas down, charting things out, planning things out, and just giving myself notes, change this word, or this means this, or this needs to communicate this. So it's quite a different process. It used to be the completely other opposite way, where it was words, then music. And now it's kind of flipped into like this. It's more of a, I would say like a collage.
Huh.
Right.
Is there like a recent, like one of your more recent songs that you could play for us? Like, I mean, maybe even a work in progress. Is there something that, like, where we could maybe hear something that's on the newer side?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have this next one is called Modern Life, and this was a song I wrote on my 36th birthday, and it was just one of those days where I woke up and said, "Hey, I'm going to write a song because it's my birthday," and I
Right.
did, and this was a weird one though because the words and everything, the words and music kind of came out together. I was channeling some Bowie. I don't know if it comes through in the song, but I was just thinking about the world we live in, and yes, so this one kind of came out. I had pulled up in my Google Drive just a really old poem that I had written, and kind of I'll go through old journals and I'll highlight things or I'll cut phrases out and just started to kind of piece them together, and and then kind of rewriting over time, making things kind of work more rhythmically and stuff like that. But it's really images, and then the images kind of get edited down to polished down to to fit the actual rhythm of a song.
So where is this song in its life? Like, is it?
So this one's
is
been
this completed?
recorded.
Oh, this is recorded.
Yeah, and we're hoping to release this in 2021.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah, this one is Modern Life.
When they talk about nothing, well, do you still listen? When they tell you who they really are, do you really care? Oh, modern life, yeah, modern life, yeah, modern life will get you no matter how far you run. When Jesus tore up that temple, was it that simple? Did he catch a whiff of his own death in that den of thieves? Oh, modern life, yeah, modern life. Oh, modern life will get you no matter how far you run. Well, there's hippies digging their last ditches out in the country, while the rich is building rockets to escape this scene. Oh, modern life, yeah, modern life. Oh, modern life will get you no matter how far you run. You, no matter how far you run. When they sing about nothing, do you sing across that valley. Well, I stand at the top of the rock and listen. Well, I feel the wind and I hear you calling my name. Climb so high to leave you there through the dark of night and the rains that fall. And that last wind in your voice is so cool. You, yeah, I know wish you never turned your back to the places I've gone, but goodbye, well, it ain't half as sad. It's a place that we were headed. So I'm climbing up this mountain just to see a new sky dawning. Well, I know I can't go back to you. I'll spend the rest of my heart on you, forgetting where I left you, dear. Well, I know I can't go back to you. I know miss you, yeah, I wish you never turned your back to the places I've gone, but goodbye, well, it ain't half as sad. It's a place that we were headed. On climbing out this valley through the dark of night and the rains that fall, and your salty lips, your whisper still lives in my ear. Can't you see that sun is rising? 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 Well, I know you always come crawling through that valley of fear. I know you always come crawling through your tears. And I know I miss you, yeah, I know I wish you never turned your back to the places I've gone, but goodbye, well, it ain't half as sad. It's a place that we were headed.
Oh, very nice, guys.
The first thing that I do is that I wait for you. Ain't that a funny thing just to do? But it's the only thing I can do. Grace touch my feet like glue. The night has all the fun with some morning left to do. Sit on them rocks and skip a stone or two. Then I just wait for you. Get that feeling you just ain't alive. something just a little pass you by. Tell yourself, hell, well, at least I've tried. Is that how you really want to live your life? Stones on that sidewalk and that broken glass. Time moving like my feet on frozen sand. Looking to that east, now I'm looking back. Just waiting for that sky to turn black.
Man, oh man, guys. Maybe it's because we're exactly the same age, but those songs were hitting me in the feels, Drew. Oh my gosh. First thing I do is wait for you. What a line, man.
Yeah, sucks.
Can you? Okay, I have no lyric writing ability. Tell me, when you wrote that down, did you realize what you'd written? Like, did it hit you as significant when you wrote it?
Well, it just captured how I felt. So, I mean, if that's significant, then that's, I guess, for the listener to determine, I guess.
Well, I just wonder, like, for someone who has the ability to, like, articulate what you've just articulated in those few songs, like,
Sure.
It just seems it's remarkable to me not having that ability. When did you start writing?
Well, I think I've always been a writer. I think I've always written. I remember the first time I wrote anything that I was proud of. I was probably 10 or 11 years old.
Wow.
And it was about hockey, because I played hockey.
Was it prose or a poem?
It was a poem.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm too lazy to write prose. So, yeah, and I ran in, I showed my mom, and she was like, oh, that's actually, decent, And,
Yeah.
to get a compliment out of my mother is not the easiest thing in the world. So,
All right.
that was like winning the Pulitzer or something. So, it's something that I've always done, and something that I've always struggled with, but always continue to do. And when I write those types of things, frozen sand is really an idea of frozen sand. So I spent a lot of time down the shore, right? I spent a lot of time in Cape May, so I'd take a lot of walks on the beach, and especially in the summer or in the winter, when it's cold and there's no one there, and so the idea of frozen sand under my feet, but also like the frozen sand that might be like in a in an egg timer. You know what I mean? Time, playing with that symbol and that image. And that whole idea of like waiting for someone to kind of like, so to start your life. And that's, I've seen people do that. I've done it myself, and I just wanted to address it. The song was actually for a friend who I saw doing that, and I just, I can't tell people things, you know what I mean? Like a normal person could walk up to their friend and say that. I have to write a song and record it and, drive an hour and a half to the Sellersville Theater, then play it, and then hope he's listening on Facebook, and then, maybe he'll get the message.
Is that the case? Do you find it hard to express yourself not in a musical or lyrical form?
I mean, hard is an understatement, yeah.
Wow. That's very interesting.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people who write lyrics might feel the same way.
Is that always been that that way for you, or is it
Yeah.
something that's increased or decreased?
I mean, I'm getting better because I'm married and my wife, needs to communicate with me. So, that's
Right.
I can't just.
You can't just write her a song
I
every
can't-
time.
yeah. I mean, I did. First record. But she got over that. So.
This is the "Honey, Please Empty the Dishwasher" song.
Right.
Wow. Okay, that's really interesting. Boy, so I mean, how has your writing evolved over the years? So if you started that young, like where are you? What's your relationship with your writing now? Do you have like a daily routine with expressing stuff on paper?
No.
No.
I've never been a very disciplined writer in that respect. I am maybe I am a daily writer, but I am more of a spontaneous mid-conversation. Oh, Drew's in his notes on my phone, writing things down, or ideas pop. I'll hear things, radio, podcast, what have you. I'll write them down. I harvest a lot of lines, and then when it comes time to, and I shouldn't say when it comes time to, but when I'm feeling like, ooh, let's go figure this song out, I start to put the pieces together. So there's a little bit of subconscious in there, and there really is. It's a lot of like image-driven lyricism.
Yeah, well, we can hear that. That's it's really remarkable. And
Thanks.
But I wonder about like just that you're at the kind of at the mercy of the muse, right? To strike you, is that
Yeah.
the case?
Well, I mean, yeah, I feel like I have definitely felt that way when I was younger, for sure. And I think a lot of people who write, we kind of romanticize this idea of inspiration or muse, but it really is more as you get older. It really is more of a practice or a craft, something that you once you develop your process, it really does become something that is less of a aha, lightning striking kind of moment, and more of a, John Prine, his least favorite part of writing music was writing the words, right? But he knew when it was time to write words that it was going to be very, very difficult and not so much fun, right? But it is incredibly rewarding. So when it is time to sit down and put it together, there's quite a bit of caffeine involved,
Right.
quite a bit of walking away from the desk.
Right. What do you do it in one go? Like, is it like you sit down, you realize there's something happening, and you sit down and see it all the way through, or is it a process for you that?
I mean, it can take 5
Iterative
minutes and it can take years. So, like this next song, Black Statues, I started writing this song after Ferguson.
Wow. So,
And I think that was the first time I had seen folks kind of tearing down Confederate statues and things like that. And, those images were pretty powerful to me. So I played with this idea of like black statues, black skin. The black statues were of the Confederates. So it's kind of a play on this idea of, the symbol of a black statue, or the symbol of, just the color black in general, and turning black into something that isn't necessarily, evil, in Shakespearean literature, in biblical literature, black is always seen as the evil thing, and I think a lot of that still kind of lives in our psyche. So I was playing around with that idea, kind of trying to attempt to flip that idea on its head a little bit. That song, I mean, but the first version of that song was just way different than what it ended up being.
the first version of Black Statues, the song you're about to play,
Right.
In what ways was it different?
I mean, the idea was there. The black stat. I think the first verse was probably the only thing that lived from the first draft. It was it was a little dark, and I just couldn't really figure out how to fit it into like a pop song. That's actually, I went into some journals and started to cut out some lines and started to kind of piecemeal them together
From things that you had written previously,
Right. things that I thought were, that's interesting. That's a cool idea. And then, the second verse came to me. I live in Point Breeze in South Philly, and there's a mural down the street from my house that said, "They buried us not knowing we were seeds." So then I started to play around. Okay, so what does that mean? And put that into the second verse. So like I said, these songs are kind of quilted together through just things that I see, experience.
Wow.
So
is it fair to assume from that the sort of the turmoil of the time that we're living in has been inspirational to you in a song sense, where like, are your journals packed right now?
Yes, but probably not in the way that you would probably assume. I'm a contrarian, I guess, by nature. So when things get bad, I start to write songs like sun rising instead of sun setting. I'm thinking of the opposite. So like when Obama was president, I was real mad. And not because Obama was president, because I just am the opposite of, what people are feeling. So now that Trump's in there, I'm kind of thinking like, I need to think happy thoughts, because if I let it go the way it probably would naturally go, I'm not sure anything would come out.
So what is your equilibrium state? It's where it's not happy, it's not sad, it's what? Just
drunk?
Yeah. What is the middle that you're trying to balance out to?
That's the goal.
Creative, I guess.
I don't know. I guess taking walks with the puppy and just kind of zoning out in nature and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm either really hot or really cold.
Man.
Yeah. Mental Health Day.
Mental Health Day. Right. Happy Mental Health Day, everybody.
Take a walk.
All right. Interest is peaked. Play Black Statues for us, if you would, please. I'm very interested in hearing this song.
We'll let the thorns from the roses prick. We'll suck that blood from our fingertips, and we'll taste some of this life we found. Don't be ashamed to admit it. We'll shut up or sing along. We'll sit and listen to his story. Such a lonely, lonely song. It's called waiting. Waiting on anything. And the truth is, his lies ain't hard to believe. Like the pretty part of the wicked heart when that angel starts to sing. And I'm waiting on anything. Yeah, I'm waiting on anything. Sheep, people are born bored or half asleep. I heard we were buried and I heard we were seeds. And when we rise, this stone it bleeds. Till then waiting, waiting on anything. And the truth is, his lies ain't hard to believe. Like the pretty part of the wicked heart when that angel starts to sing. Yeah, I'm waiting on anything. We're all waiting on anything. only see her when she moves in the light of a full moon. That's when you love her most. Yeah, we're waiting on anything. And the truth is, his lies ain't hard to believe. Like the pretty part of a wicked heart when that angel starts to sing. Yeah, we're waiting on anything. Yeah, we're waiting on anything. We're waiting on anything.
Oh, what a song, guys.
All right.
When will that be out? When do you think?
Well, the plan was to get it out before the election. We'll see if I can make a video by then. Well, you know, COVID, so
Yeah.
COVID and
2020.
2020. So, but yeah, definitely getting that one out soon.
Yeah. What's this one?
This one is called Searching. This one is unreleased and unrecorded.
Searching high, searching low, searching everywhere you go. And for what? I don't know, but you bet it's beautiful. Some say stop, some say go, some say fool, it'll never show. You don't listen, they don't know. And I bet it's beautiful. Oh. 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 Time moves fast, time moves slow. Times have changed, this I know. Think too much, act too slow. Tell yourself it's how you grow. Searching high, searching low, searching everywhere you go. And for what? I don't know, but you bet it's beautiful. Oh. searching high, searching low, searching high, searching low, searching high, searching low. Tell yourself it's beautiful. Searching high, searching low, searching everywhere you go. And for what? I don't know, but I know it's beautiful.
Another great tune there, guys. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
That was Searchin', an unreleased song. Is that an exclusive?
That was. Absolutely.
Whoa. So tell me about that real quick. Where is that song in its life cycle?
That was the third time I played it.
The third time you've played it, Tim, you did great. Over there on that pedal steel. Let me share some of the comments that are happening here.
All right.
I have been neglecting the comments section. Way back, Bill Slade said that was such a good tune. I don't know which one you meant there, Bill, but it could have applied to all of them.
That's what I was going to say.
My mom, Amy Faga, says that she loves the graphic for the pickled heart. It makes her want to listen to the album.
Awesome.
Couldn't agree with you more. Wait till you see the cover art for the next album.
That
I'm gonna put
artist
up here.
will be making our logo for our record label, too.
Record label.
Reluctant Nudist Records.
Pin in that. I want to talk about that in a moment. And Nelson Faga says, "Oh, to be 35 again. Those were the good old days."
Tell me about it.
Jane Wells has been posting long lines of emojis that I can't even begin to unpack right now. But there's a lot going on in there. She's being nuanced with her emoji use. Bill Slade says, "Very nice." William Laybourne asks, "Is there another band just called Naked Sun?"
There is a German prog rock band from the 70s
Okay.
called the Naked Sun. I do not believe they are around anymore, and they are very different than us.
Very different than you. And were they inspired by the same Isaac Asimov book?
I believe so, yes.
I see.
Yep.
What else do we got here? A lot of clapping, a lot of other things. Friends in the comment section, of course. Thank you for all of your enthusiasm. Thank you for your clicks, your likes, your emoji sentences. We would also like to take a moment and suggest that you follow the Linktree link, which I will attempt to post on your screen right now, and support the show, support the Naked Sun, support Soundbooth Sessions in the Sellersville Theater. Your contributions are very much appreciated. Follow that link. There are many different ways to pay. You can find the one that best suits you. Venmo, PayPal. Take your pick. They're all good. Guys, before we get too much farther in the show, I do want to say that here on this show we do we have a section of our show that we call the Teacher Feature, where I ask the guest to call out a name and tell us about a teacher or a mentor who was particularly inspirational to you, and tell us a little bit about what they did for you. Because of course, we really appreciate the teachers these days. Here we are at the beginning of a school year, and we are realizing now is more than ever how important, how essential their jobs are. So if you could please call out someone who was inspirational or important to you, please.
I'll turn it over to Tim.
I would say in high school when I was a student, Phyllis Tortu-Slawecki, she was my French teacher. She was rough. She knew how to beat me up in the right way, but also lift me up in the right way. And I feel like I learned a lot from her just in terms of, I mean, I was a terrible French student. I couldn't remember anything.
Oh, no.
But
Did you write? You didn't write the title of that EP, then, I guess.
no, I just had to tell Drew how to pronounce
But
it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, could you at least? Would you mind saying it? Because I have no idea how to pronounce it.
I can't do it right now. I'm not gonna make it. And then more recently in my adult life, somebody who has meant a great deal to me, and passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately. But he was a titan and still is in my mind. Steve Chikalski. He was I taught with him for 10 years in my first district, and just one of those guys who, older guy, took me under his wing. I called him when my wife and I had our first son. He was the first guy I called before family or anybody else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a giant in my mind, and he's somebody I think about frequently, and probably for the same reasons, just gruff, tough, old, and I aspire to be that guy.
I see. So that was not a musical mentor, but a life mentor.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent.
And I think it always bleeds over into the music. You know, the philosophies and the ideas just applied to what we do here. Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah.
How about you, Drew?
Yeah, I'll shout out my first piano teacher, Bill Yerkes, who,
Bill Yerkes.
Bill Yerkes. He actually he went on to be a pretty successful. He still does it. He directs orchestras for plays. Super talented dude, and just kind of made me want to be very, very good. To be as good as he was.
How long did you play piano?
About 6 years. I took lessons for about 6 years, and then as soon as I turned 12 and discovered Nirvana, I wanted a guitar. So
There's not a lot of piano in Nirvana.
yeah,
No.
never looked back really. But yeah, Bill was a great teacher, and then in college I met Dr. Ducharme. Shout out. He turned me into a literature nerd. He saw something in me, I guess, and he would call me frequently in class, and he liked my writing, and he got me into the Lambda Iota Tau Literary Society, and no one else really was telling me I had talent or anything like that. But Dr. Ducharme, he was the one dude who kind of made me believe in it. So
What is that literary society? Say that again.
Lambda Iota Tau.
What is a literary society? I'm not familiar with that.
So we had a little ceremony, and I got a little card, and I don't know. I mean, there's a secret handshake, and little houses around the country that I can go in and read a book on a comfy couch.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. No, none of that is true. But.
Well, I know that you two are also educators, so I
Right.
want to thank you both. And neither of you teach music, which is, we've had a number of music teachers already on the show. But Tim, what is it that you teach?
I teach high school English.
High school English.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's a lot of literature. Of course, like classic literature, right? Like, what are you teaching this year?
Well, it used to be
right there.
actually. So the nature of the course that I teach now, I teach AP Language and Composition. There's actually no literature or poetry in the course.
Oh,
It's all shorter works, essays, nonfiction. It could be anything that, from a political speech to something, a popular athlete could write. They're basically just opinion pieces. The best way to describe the course is I try to get the kids to make sure they know why they're saying what they're saying. Like you can have any opinion you want, but you gotta back it up because facts are they're in kind of short order these days.
Wow,
Well, you know
boy,
what?
that's
Never
an
mind. Let me
interesting
back that
class.
up. There's plenty of facts out there. It's just.
would you mind recording that and posting your class on Facebook, please?
I think I have quite a lot. Not on Facebook, but yeah.
Is that right? Oh wow, that's a very. Now, did you come up with that curriculum on your own?
No. It's kind of guided. I mean, well, the rough ideas are there. The pieces that I pick are kind of what I choose them to be.
What are some of the ones that you've chosen?
I try to get a variety. So we read one last week called "To My One Love" by she is a feminist out of Nigeria, Adichie. But also the week before that, we read Lou Gehrig's farewell speech.
Wow.
And so I try to get everything, politically
transcript of the presidential debate.
Yeah,
Right.
There's no.
Yeah,
You know what? It's funny. One of the cornerstones of what I teach the kids is an argument is not a fight. A fight, you look to win. You're scrapping. You don't care about your opponent. An argument, at the very least, you've got a couple goals of trying to change somebody's mind, or if you can't change their mind, change the mood. If you can't change their mood, maybe their willingness to listen in the future. There's always something there. Or you have a fight, which that tends to be what everybody's thinking these days. So that's kind of like I don't know, if I can leave that impression on a few young minds that we don't have to fight, we can argue. That's okay. Arguing's great. Fighting, not so much. I think I'll have done something good in the world.
Tim, I'm really, really happy and hopeful to hear that there are people teaching classes like that right now. That's especially to high school age kids who are, looking at what's the discourse, the style of discourse that's happening online these days, and maybe don't have a whole lot to compare it to. So that's thanks.
Yeah, amen.
Thanks. And Drew, what is your role in the school?
So I too was an English teacher for 10 years,
Okay.
but right now I'm running the literature and social studies departments at the Universal Alden Reed Charter High School. Go Rockets. So, yeah, I'm the literacy coach there. I do a lot of curriculum, and I coach the teachers, and right now I'm an IT guy most of the time.
Oh, my goodness. Helping everybody with their Zoom calls.
That's right. Yep.
Remote learning.
Yep, remote learning.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oy.
Right.
And how's that going for you? How's the year been going so far these last few weeks?
I mean, it is what you make it, and I feel there's a lot of parallels to the actual classroom, and it's interesting because it really suits some folks, and other folks can't wait to get back into their classrooms. So it's kind of a mixed bag in that, and I feel like, we have drama classes and things like that, and Tim's wife is a drama teacher, so that doesn't always translate as well, but reading a play over Zoom as opposed to being in the class and moving around and performing it.
Right.
But we're figuring it out, and we're making it work.
Can you make any sort of generalities about the type of person? Like, what is it about? Who are the people that are doing well in the sort of the Zoom virtual context, and who are the people that are doing well or really missing the in person?
Introverts.
I was going to say, is it just that introvert extrovert thing? Yeah. Well, that
I'm
makes
an
sense.
introvert, and I'm like, yeah, let's do this virtual learning.
Well, that's really cool, guys. Thank you for doing what you do, and thank you for shouting out those teachers. Now, I do before we move on with the next song. I know you have a really cool project going on called Student Teacher.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask you about that because it's. Well, can you tell me the story of what it is and where did the collaboration come from?
So a former student of mine, Ronnie Boone, he's a Philadelphia MC, Ronnie Ruger. He was working at the Bourbon and Branch one night when Tim and I went in there to play a show, and I saw him from across the room, and I was just like, oh my God, that's Ronnie Boone. Because, Ronnie's the type of student that you just don't forget. For not always the most positive reasons, but like Ronnie was my boy. We got along. He was a little rough around the edges. Didn't really always show up to school, but Ronnie was just a great kid, and I had a lot of respect for Ronnie. So he saw me perform. He hit me up afterwards. We exchanged Instagram handles, and he had been asking me to collaborate for years. I never worked in the hip-hop world, so I just decided to stay in my lane. Not that I blew him off, but I had a lot of reasons for him why it wouldn't work.
Right.
And then one day, I was taking a walk with the dog, and it just kind of hit me. I had been listening to a lot of Tribe Called Quest, and I was like, there's upright bass in this.
It's a very musical hip-hop.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, hip-hop, because Ronnie is more of a trap rapper, my brain was more in that world. And I was like, I don't know how I fit into this. But I was like, well, this could be interesting. Old Town Road had been on the radio a lot, and I was like, this could work. So let's see. So we got Harry Zelnick to produce our first song, and Ronnie, myself, and Tim got into my basement studio, and we made the first song, Trap Sun. And the whole idea behind the project is, student teacher. Obviously, I was Ronnie's teacher.
Right.
But since we've become friends through this collaboration, the roles kind of shift.
Wow.
He's teaching me about his life, and he's putting a little bit of context to why he wasn't always at school, or why he always wasn't good at school, or this, that, and the other thing, and I started to learn a lot from Ronnie. So the stories that we tell in our songs are true stories that kind of tell it from both sides of the desk, is how I like to. So right now we have 3 songs that are out. Well, no, we have 2 songs that are out: Black Lives Matter,
Great
and
song.
Trap Son, and we're going to be releasing a few more as we go. We have another one under our belt, and as soon as I get my basement back, because I've had a termite issue all summer long.
Oh no.
Yeah. So as soon as I get my studio back, we'll be back. Ronnie, we're going to be back, I promise. And we're going to pump out a few more. And the goal is to have an EP.
Okay.
And I also want to create curriculum around this, because I was kind of blown away at how much better I was at my job after I started to kind of learn from Ronnie.
Wow.
Knowing what my students were probably going through. Just really helped me be more empathetic, more patient, and it really just was a matter of having a dialogue.
How do you see that playing out? How would you design a like a songwriting project?
So it would be, it would be more of a personal writing project. So really just about stories, students telling their stories, teachers telling their stories. Really kind of a way to let your guard down and connect, and looking for entry points, because there's a lot of academic writing that we have to do in school, and I'm kind of getting into like curricular jargon here, but with our students, I'm inner city, Tim's he's in the country, but he teaches a very similar population. Students, they might not always have the code switching skills to take what is very genuine and good storytelling and then adapt that to an academic writing. So it's really looking for entry points to kind of use what they have and then what they do well to apply to a more academic type of writing. Yeah.
Sounds like it's also a bit of a vulnerability exercise as well.
Yeah, it's hard, because when you think you need to like be a hammer in front of the class most of the time, but actually kids really respect when you're vulnerable. And
Wow.
it could be a hard pill to swallow, because you think they'll walk all over you, but sometimes when you let your guard down, you really start to really see who the students are and who you are for real,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Dangerous Minds.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer. Well, I do want to thank you for all those very interesting ideas. That I'm glad you guys are out there doing what you're doing. I appreciate that very much. Having kids in the system. Okay, let me say that. Let's see. We heard a couple songs off of Sunrising EP. We also heard another song off of Avec la Vérité, French. And the next song we're going to hear is off this gorgeous... Where did this gorgeous album art come from?
So
my goodness.
My wife, Hannah, she made that.
Wow.
Hannah, if you're watching. Tuna,
Good work,
what's up?
Hannah. Oh, my
Fan.
goodness.
Yeah, that actually lives in my basement. It's really big. Hannah works with watered down acrylics, so she's a drip paint artist, and she does. So if you look at that, if you're standing in front of that, there are layers. It's very textural. You can feel the drops, and it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that picture is great. Doug took that picture, Doug Nevick, but to be there in front of it and to feel the textures is really how to experience that.
Mental Health Day.
Yes,
Just go in there and drip.
that's right.
Guys, play us another song, please.
All right.
What do you got for us?
This one's called Cosmic Winds.
walking towards something, or maybe a way. It's recently hit my mind that things have changed. And I've always welcomed strange times like tomatoes welcome rain. Looking at my own soul, but it don't look the same. Silence is burning like a wheel on fire, and my memory serves me well. Last time I had these low down feelings, I surely was in hell. Well, I caught this invisible wind, and I need your help. Walking west and backwards with the sun in my eyes, listening to everything, just truth and lies. Take the steps down and step into that train. 100 different faces, why do they all look the same? If I had a home, I'd be sitting on a chair, resting my feet well. In the morning I'd wake and study the sun, yeah, watch my garden swell. Well, I've got this invisible wing, and I just need some help. Late in the evening, my lips are on fire, my tongue can't look them out. I got a desperate feeling that I need something that I can't live without. Bird on the wire and the soul in the sand. Moments of my life that slip through my hand. I got a desperate feeling that I just can't live without. Till I search this sunless sky, search this sunless sky, search this sunless sky, praying to a cosmic wind.
Guys, that was Cosmic Winds. And because the album is so gorgeous, I'm going to put it up again off of the EP Space, Place, and Time. And let me just turn over to the comment sections real quick here because a lot has been happening in there, and I want you to hear it. I want to throw some of that, throw some of the love up to the stage for you here. Let's see. Elizabeth Campbell informs us that Tim was Teacher of the Year last year. Congratulations, Tim. Well done.
Thank you, dear.
My mom, Amy Faga, who was a lifelong teacher, says facts matter. Thank you for teaching that fact.
Thank you. Yeah,
well done, guys. And what else do we have here? William Laybourne asks that whether War with Shadows is one of your albums, right? And the answer is...
Yes, it is.
And it looks like this. So when you're searching for it,
That's our
what
full length.
That's the full length, and it's great.
Full band.
Got some horn section on there, too, which is much appreciated.
Got it on vinyl.
Oh, yeah. What else do we have here? Gorgeous drip painting by Hannah. Love that one, says my mom. John Seaton, thanks for another great show. You're very welcome, John. Glad you're enjoying it. Jane Wells says, School of Rock. Yes, right. Very good. So, gentlemen, I want to make sure that we promote what you have upcoming. I know that you have a live event tomorrow night that you're doing. Where is that? Where can people see you again?
So tomorrow we'll be live streaming and live playing, weather permitting, but it'll definitely be a live stream at 118 North in Wayne.
Okay, great.
And then other than that, we're free, so book us.
Free as a bird. So they're available. They play your bar mitzvah and your virtually.
We do weddings.
Do weddings and bar mitzvahs. Some of these may be a little bleak for a wedding, though. I don't know.
We'll do a bris.
Okay, I want to follow up on your record label. You said you're starting a record label. Why are you starting a record label?
That's a good question.
That's why I'm asking it. Why are you starting a record label?
Well, Reluctant Nudist Records. I don't know. Something just,
Stop. Wait. Reluctant Nudist.
Yes.
What picture are you painting with Reluctant Nudist?
So picture Adam and Eve coming out of the Garden of Eden with reels of tape around their private parts. And they are reluctantly nude.
That's true. They're also ignorantly nude.
Yes, yes. Right. Naked Sun, right? So we're
Naked
continuing with the nudity theme here.
Got it. S-U-N.
S-U-N, yeah. Yeah, a little different.
Don't Google Naked Sun.
Yeah, a little weird
the other
way.
one.
So my wife's family, hope she doesn't see this, they're nudists, so when I visit them, I'm a nudist, and I am the reluctant nudist. I kind of got thrown into that world.
You bring this up at the end of the episode? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So thought it was a good image and sticks with the naked nudity theme. And
do you have to participate? Is it?
No. But I mean, it's kind of weird to be
when
the
in
only
Rome.
dude walking around. Yeah, exactly.
When in Rome, get naked.
And you know what? When you're there and you're doing it, it actually feels weird not to be doing it.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
how long has that been going on for them? How long has that been their lifestyle?
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about there's another lesson in vulnerability. Right? Oh my goodness.
Right. Yeah, it was horrifying. I mean, it still is.
But, how long in the relationship until you learned about that?
Well, probably early on because, she was very comfortable with herself. And I had to ask, and then, she was always going to this camp. And I was like, what is this camp? So it turned out the camp was, where the folks had a little place. And, that's where they would go and hang out. And, it's actually pretty sweet.
Tell me about the sweet part. So what have you learned about yourself? Like what is?
Well, old people love to be naked.
Why?
I guess they don't care anymore, and I don't blame them. It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
And to like be okay with everything, like just to.
I mean, that's the real.
Say fuck it, right?
Right.
It's
Exactly.
like-
Yeah. That's the real. I mean.
yeah.
That's the real thing. That's like. It's kind of crazy to think about, but when you're there, you wonder why it isn't always like this.
Because why should it be?
Right.
We've all got the same stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I love that
And
so
I
much.
mean, these aren't supermodels walking around naked. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
It's everyone.
You know, it's so similar. It seems similar to me to singing. You know how we all kind of get we start off being so proud. Like I got a 3-year-old and a
Right,
5-year-old, and
right,
they'll
right.
just sing and they'll make up songs
Right.
with no self-consciousness whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a moment that is going to make me cry thinking about the moment when they stop
Yep.
feeling okay doing that, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's probably around the same time that they start feeling comfortable naked.
I love that comparison because it's very true.
And then somehow we get shameful about it.
Yep.
And then what a wonderful idea that like later in life you might come back around to that, like
Right.
oh dude.
Everyone has a voice and everyone has a butt crack. And
Yeah.
everyone's voice is not that great, and
That's
everyone's
right.
butt crack
and
isn't that
and
great.
everybody and nobody feels so confident about the way they look that
Nope.
you know if everybody's doing it, who cares?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Do you have any songs that like are more poetic about what we're discussing right now?
Oh Jesus. Like nudist songs?
Any nudist anthems?
Not yet.
Wow.
But check Reluctant Nudist will be.
Okay, so wait, so back to why are you making a record label? Why?
Well, you know, I live in Philadelphia. I go see I have seen shows in previous to 2020 on a very regular basis, and I am constantly seeing young acts or new acts or just new acts to me that just really, really impress the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Love Said the Commander being one of them. Ronnie is another one, and you know, I just feel like I can offer them just all of the things. We've been in bands our entire lives, and when I talk to these artists about their plans, they're tragically unorganized, or they're you know, they don't know how to wear all the hats that an artist needs to wear now to be successful. So I hope to offer them that and get them to the next level.
wow.
I see myself as Tom Hanks's character in The Wonders. You know, how he finds those guys and then brings them to the next level.
Yes.
You know, that's how I picture myself. I'm that guy.
That thing you do.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm hoping to get anyone. I mean, this is a genre fluid record label, so
Genre fluid.
yeah. And we're going to be mailing out. So one of the things we know how to do well is we know how to contact radio stations, and we know how to check our charts and to follow up and to see where we're at. So that's one of the services I'll be offering. And you know, if I like you and if you like me and we vibe, like, you know, let's get your name out there.
Well, and now you got a venue and a live stream show that with your recommendation they can appear on.
Yeah, there you go.
Start sending some folks our way.
All right.
That sounds really cool. So when people want to, you know, submit their act to you,
Yeah.
How can they do that?
Well, so right now they can just do it through any of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, or they can hit me at Drew at wearethenakedsun.com.
Okay.
We'll be relaunching our website, wearethenakedsun.com.
We are the Naked Sun.
In November, actually, and that'll have a page for submissions for the record label. But the best way now is just to hit me on Instagram, Facebook, or Drew at wearethenakedsun.com. And yeah, I'll take a listen, and if I like what I hear, we'll talk. And I have many years of making mistakes, so I know what not to do.
Give us a little taste. What's something not to do?
What not to do?
What not to do? What's the most not to do thing?
Most not to do thing is to worry about what other people are thinking. So
Good one.
there's a you know, there's always a there's a way to socialize and there's a way to network that is authentic, but you don't have to belong to a scene or you don't have to be cool. You know what I mean? I mean, there's millions of people in the world who listen to music for a million different reasons. So to try to fit in some way, shape, or form is really just the detriment of all artists. So I think it's really important to, just say, fuck it, be yourself, be naked, and be out there with your shitty voice. Or your good voice and your nice butt. It doesn't matter.
Poetry. But it is, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Oh my gosh. Well done. Okay. Well, how are you gonna take us out of here, guys?
Well, we lost our hero last week, 3 years ago. Tom Petty, who is my all-time favorite, and we've been playing his song "Walls," since his passing. But before, I really just think it's one of the. It's the anthem of the Trump years to me because there's a lot of talk about building walls and there's a lot of invisible walls between us, and I felt like Tom Petty did this thing where he was political without ever being political, and it's a fine art to write a song that both sides of the aisle can kind of listen to and enjoy and love and take what they want from it. I see this song as a way of tearing down physical walls, invisible walls, so this one's called Walls.
Do it.
And all that time I could have been tuning.
All right. Well, I'll take a moment. Friends in the comments section, thank you so much for being here. If you're enjoying this even a fraction as much as I am, I know that means that you're loving it. And please take a moment, visit the link tree, which I will attempt to share with you. I know that Allie in the comments will likely post it momentarily. Follow that link to find all the different ways that you can support this evening's performance. And any contributions that come in will go to both the Naked Sun and Sellersville Theater. So thank you very much for your support. There are many ways to pay, and all the ways are A-OK.
And Dan, we want to thank you. And I know Trump just tried to kill the Save the Venue Act or Stage Act
Did
or
he?
whatever.
I didn't. I was very blissfully away from the news today.
Well, sorry, but we appreciate you. This is the first time we've been on a stage since February, and it was always a goal of mine to play this stage. So if this is the only time I get to do it, I got to do it. Some of my heroes have sat on this stage.
Oh,
Chris
man.
Smither is one of them.
Yes.
And you have a beautiful town and beautiful theaters. Thank you so
thank
much.
you. Well, we will definitely have you back, guys. Thank you.
Some days are diamonds, some days are rocks, some roads are lonely, and some roads are blind. Sundowns are golden, then they fade away. And if I never do nothing, I'll get you back someday. But you got a heart so big, it could crush this town. And I can't hold out forever, even walls fall down. Island, there's a barricade, keeps out the danger and holds in the pain. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you cry. Part of me is ocean, and prettiest sky, but you got a heart so big it could crush this town, and I can't hold out forever, even walls fall down. Some things are over, some things go on. Part of me you carry, and part of me is gone. But you got a heart so big it could crush this town, and I can't hold out forever, even walls fall down. Honey, you got a heart so big it could crush this town, and I can't hold out forever, even walls fall down. They fall down, they fall down, they fall down.
Folks, that is our show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to the Naked Sun. Drew, Tim, great work.
Thanks, Dan.
That was a tremendous concert. That was wonderful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Please make sure to visit the link tree to support this show, to support this artist. That felt very special. I think we can all take something from that. Be vulnerable, folks. Happy Mental Health Day. Be vulnerable. Sing. You sound beautiful. Be naked. You look great. And of course, thank you for watching Soundbooth Sessions, and thank you for supporting the show. We do this pretty much every week, most Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. We feature a concert and a conversation with an act we really love. Next week, I'm so excited to have joining us from the Hudson Valley a band called The Big Takeover. Going to be doing some high-energy reggae for us. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Saturday, get ready to feel more feels with Craig and Aislinn Bickhart, one of the finest songwriters in our area, and I just can't wait for that show. So thank you to Jeremy, who was Jeremy on the close-ups. Thank you to Alyson in the comments section. This was a great time. Thank you to you in the comments section. You did great, and have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you next time.
My hands just started feeling normal.
Guys, great job.
Thanks, Dan.
What a show.
Great.
What a
Thank
show.
you. Yeah, my hands just got like they were